Mr. Dream. How are you?
Hey, how's it going? How's your day?
It's going. I am ready to make some money in the NBA. Last night was kind of annoying. I'm trying to get a good feel for it. I have taken a little bit of time off of the NBA just because I like to wait until this time of year. I feel like we don't really have numbers until around now. Now we have solid numbers. Have there been any trends that stood out to you?
Oh man, a lot to choose from. Lately I've
What's
been
like something you see pop up on the board and you have to look into? It doesn't mean you bet it every time, but there's something you're like, okay, this team's playing. I have to check that out.
I mean, one look that you were just talking about rebounds against um what was
Miami.
that? Yeah, rebounds against the Heat. Yeah, for sure. Um Tyrese Maxey. When his lines drop, I immediately look at if it's going to be a close game. He's been playing awesome. Um That's really it. I'm not too much of a trend better. I like to use trends, but and Shea Gilgeous Alexander, 30 points. If I can get his 30 points, and I think there's a chance that he can actually play a fourth quarter,
Did
I'll play that.
30s pop up? Because I feel like we're always at like 32 with him.
No, I try to find his like 30 and put it with something, or even his 28 sometimes and put it with something because he's generally going to make sure he gets his 30 or he's going to fall like a bucket short. But even since J Dub's been back, I haven't even touched his points at all just because it's too risky. I'll wait till the game's actually close and then I'll see if I can get some action on him.
That's what's so hard. There were certain players tonight that definitely are part of these double digit spread games that you're very weary of them because you worry about blowouts. Last night, I was a little bit worried about Ant Man, but Anthony
No.
Edwards still ended up going off. So I gave it out on the show and I said, if you're not worried about blowouts, then you
Yeah.
could look at Anthony Edwards. And he still ended up going off last night.
Yeah, definitely cost me my King of the Court promotion on DraftKings. I had Jalen Brown and Edwards. I think he sent the game to overtime and finished for like 40 something. So yeah, that was fun.
Well, let's try to make some money tonight. Tonight, you're looking at these straight up, and then we'll get into your parlay. Andrew Nembhard, 23 plus points plus assists. Why?
For a few reasons. The biggest reason is it's just a pretty good line for him. Now, it's not the best matchup for Nimhard at all. Um, the points allowed from Denver, the opposing point guards, is actually their top 10 in that category, and they're about middle of the pack in assists. So it's not the best matchup on paper, but he is over this 8 of his last 12 games. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 8 of his last 12 games, and this is more of a matchup. So not to bury the lead, but his little brother, who happens to be a rookie, just played this team and had 28 and 10. Now, I don't know if you guys have siblings, but yeah, I'm pretty sure they had conversations, a little bit of bragging, going back and forth. And I don't know if he's gonna get 28 and 10 tonight, but I'd be hard pressed to believe he doesn't do his best to outplay his brother, or at least kind of match his brother and have a good game against his defense. So if his rookie brother can get 28 and 10, I think Nimhard can. And it's not just Nimhard. Opposing point guards versus his defense lately have been doing very well. Now, obviously, all these players, most of these players are better than Nimhart, but his little brother isn't. But yeah, Booker 24 and 7, De'Aaron Fox 15 and 12, 21 and 11 for Russell Westbrook, Amin Thompson 22 and 2, and we know Sengun generally gets the most assists for them. So for 22 points, Jeremiah Fears, a rookie, 16 points and 1 assist. Again, a guy that's not really looking to pass at all, as opposed to Ryan Nimhard, who's got about 5 or 6 assists. And I don't know. Actually, I can take a look really quick. Um, let's see. Yeah, he's actually got 6 assists in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 9 of his 12 games. So he's a guy looking to pass. He's a guy who can score. So I really like him in his position. Josh Giddey just had 21 and 6. Again, Nimhard's a better scorer than Giddey, but not as good as a passer. So I just think it's a great spot for him. He's locked into about 30 to 33 minutes a night. So I'll take a stab for 0.75 units. Andrew Nimhart, 23 points plus assists. I just think it's an interesting twist of fate that his little brother just played them, who happens to be a rookie, and now he gets his shot at him. I think he's gonna do well tonight.
We all know that we would tell our siblings any of the secrets that we had and learned from playing in an opponent, so that definitely could happen tonight with the Nembhard brothers. Darius Garland, he's without his center, Jared Allen, again. It's always a toss-up. How do you bet Darius Garland versus Donovan Mitchell? How do you figure out which of the guards you want to go with?
So, the way I tend to pick it out is I keep it pretty simple, in the words of my great dad. Keep it simple, stupid. I tend to just do Donovan Mitchell with points. And if I want to look toward assists, then I'll bet Garland. Now, in this particular situation, this matchup has done me and, the guys that bet with me, or the guys and girls that bet with me, has done us really well, this matchup. So, in particular for point guards, and I like that Garland's been getting a steady amount of minutes. 30 minutes his last two games before he missed last game, so I would assume he gets 30 minutes. So I'll take a stab with him tonight, especially since it's a good matchup for individual point guards versus Portland defense. So it's kind of matchup specific to answer your question.
What have you noticed with Cleveland with Jared Allen out? What changes? Evan Mobley, anything that you like to attack with Allen out?
Yeah, see, I don't bet. Evan Mobley stung me a few times. He's done well for me a few times, but he stung me a few times. Most notably, the last time I bet him with no with no Jared Allen or no Garland, I think he took like 7 shots that game. So I said, yeah, I'm good. But generally, if Jared Allen's out, then I'll actually look toward his rebounds. I tend not to bet Evan Mobley in any other circumstance, and vice versa. If Mobley's going to be out, then I'll tend to bet Jared Allen's rebounds, but they kind of cannibalize each other on the boards. Not so much the points, but on the board. So, some teams for me are just tougher to bet than others. Another one that's like Toronto, it's really tough for me to get someone from Toronto's points, because it's like anybody can get 15 to 23. Now, Ingram.
Well, they're also mid.
That's what I'm saying. Like, who you going to take? And Ingram's kind of shown himself to be like, okay, I'm going to be the big dog. But even then, like, do you want to make a living?
And also with Ingram, unfortunately, you can't rely on him because he comes off the floor like last night where you're worried if he's going to get injured.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the line's 25. Like, come on. So
yes. No,
maybe, but
they're also mid. It's true. The Raptors are mid. Oh, God. Sean's just trying to annoy me today. Let's get to the parlay. We agree on a lot of players tonight. Kawhi, Brunson, Michael Porter Jr. I stayed away from De'Aaron Fox, but I was talking full game, not first quarter. What I find interesting is that you like these first quarter bets. How come you're going first quarter as opposed to full game?
Okay, so first off, shout out to my guy Stick. Probably a lot of you guys might know him. He has like 100,000 followers on Twitter, but shout out to my guy Stick. He often exploits these markets, so it made me take a look into him. And then you put that with the fact that I actually love Jalen Brunson tonight to come out with a bang, because he played so bad last night, and he was just doing anything he could to make a shot down the stretch last night, and he could not make it. So I think against this inferior opponent, he can come out with the bang. So that just got me to thinking, okay, what other guys do I think can have a strong first quarter, or at least should do, decently, have a couple baskets. And everybody here, Kawhi Leonard, he's got 30 points in back-to-back games, or maybe even 3. I think he's got 30 in 3 or 4 games. So ever since he said that comment about we need some more talent, he's been playing great. Also, you tend to think that they're going to come out and play. Well, I tend to think they're going to come out and play a little harder with the whole Chris Paul drama. Chris Paul probably was trying to light a fire under their ass, and they were like, nah, you got to get him out of here. So I think Kawhi, and actually Harden too, who's a top 5 in first quarter points, I think both of those guys are in a pretty good position to score. De'Aaron Fox, a matchup. Hey, just look at the last few point guards against the Magic. Tyrese Maxey, Steph Curry, Cade Cunningham. I mean, let me count the ways. This is another spot that we've been betting. So I think De'Aaron Fox comes out just a couple buckets, and Michael Porter Jr., because it's Michael Porter Jr. Pretty good matchup, and I believe he's top 15 in first quarter points. No, he's top 20, but he averages 6 points per first quarter. So I think he can get 4. And Brunson, I kind of buried the lead there. So absolutely love Jalen Brunson to get 8 points. I think he's there's a actual prop on FanDuel, where you can get Brunson to score 5 points in like the first 3 minutes of the game at plus 650. I even played that for 0.15 units. I think he comes out with a bang. So naturally, he'll take 2 or 3 shots, but no, I think he comes out pretty aggressive tonight. So
I agree. I was going with the Brunson over 2.5 3-pointers made tonight. He's getting a bad perimeter defense in the Hornets. He's going to try to get those shots up against the bad perimeter D at home at the Garden. He shoots better. And weirdly, he hasn't done that well in the second leg of a back-to-back at home this year. But last year, he was crushing it. So I feel like at some point, something's got to give.
Yeah. And again, if you just watched that game last night, you could hear the just collective groans from the crowd when he would. It's like the last 3-4 minutes of that game. I was watching every second, trying to get Jaylen Brown to score as many points as he could, or points and rebounds and assists. And every time he missed, the crowd was just like, oh.
My friend who's a diehard, and by the way, Joseph Rodriguez, if you got a question, we'll answer it for you. Oh, he said, can the Knicks win the cup? I saw some rumors swindling about Giannis.
I was gonna say, yeah, and I actually, my guy Flo's like the biggest Knicks fan I know, and I told Flo at the beginning of last year I thought Giannis or Embiid would be a Knick by this time, this year. So yeah, with Giannis they can win the chip, let alone the cup. But without Giannis,
but what do you give up? You got to give up something for Giannis, no?
Hey, maybe I'll give up Karl Anthony Towns for sure. He's up out of here. I'll give up Karl Anthony Towns, and I got to give up either Mikal Bridges or OG Anunoby, and maybe some future first, and that's gonna have to be it.
I feel like no one's gonna want OG after all these injuries and him not being able to play recently. But Bridges,
yeah, maybe Mikal. Yeah,
you can't get rid of Josh Hart though.
No, and I don't know if Josh will move the needle as much as
Mitch. Yeah, let's get rid of M-Rob. Screw him. Screw him. I'm over him. I can't even mention his name. It's Voldemort on this show. We don't mention him, and he's part of the graveyard. There's a few players I could list on one hand that I refuse to mention on this show, and he is one of those.
Now, Eric, I know you got to go really quick, though. I forgot to mention this with Darius Garland. So as far as the point guards, the last few point guards, I'll just quickly read off their points and assists that faced this Portland defense. Quickly had 23 last night and 8 assists. Shea 26 and 5. You know that was probably in 2.5 quarters, maybe 3. Fox 37 and 8. Shea in 37 and 7. That was a full game's worth. Steph 38 and 4. So a pretty good matchup. Now these guys are all better than Darius Garland, but it's a good spot for Garland, so that's why I took him as well. I forgot to mention
Mr. Dreamy. You can find him at Mr. Dreamy1 on social media, and Johnny here said he likes this dude's analysis. You got a new follower, my man. I love to hear that. Catch him over at Mr. Dreamy1 on socials. He is the absolute best. He got the parlays. He's got some deals. What else should people see you doing around these days?
Yeah, man, you can follow me on Twitter, Mr. Dreamy1, the number 1, and sub to my YouTube channel, Blunt Money Bets, like a blunt person or like a blunt you would smoke, Blunt Money Bets. So, yeah.
It's so you. It's the best. It's the best. It is so you. You're so dreamy, Mr. Dreamy. And for anyone who missed it, and the last time he was on, he told the story behind his name.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I did.
You are the best. Good luck to